Parshat Yitro has basically two major themes, two major ideas that are found within the parsha. The first is Yitro, Moshe Rabbeinu's father-in-law, coming to greet Moshe Rabbeinu, and the advice that Yitro gives in order to establish a legal system of a hierarchy of judges in order to alleviate the strain on Moshe Rabbeinu's life of judging millions of people. The second part of the parsha, which is really the major focus of the parsha, is clearly the presentation of a Kadosh Baruch Hu coming down on Har Sinai, on Mount Sinai. And the climax of the parsha is the Aseret Hadibrot, best translated as the 10 utterances, the 10 foundations upon which really the whole Jewish society, legal system is built. I'd like to try to understand today, in looking at this parsha, more of a thematic question in terms of the whole experience of Mamad Har Sinai, the experience of a Kadosh Baruch Hu giving the Torah to Klal Yisrael. I'd like to raise two questions. One, a specific one on a very famous Gemara found on a pasuk in this week's parsha, and the second, a much more general and broad question on the whole experience of Mamad Har Sinai. The specific question is based on the verse found in source 1. The pasuk says, "Vayotze Moshe ta'am likrat Elokim min ha'machaneh, vayityatzvu b'tachtit ha'har," where Moshe brought the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood b'tachtit ha'har, literally means under the mountain. Very famous Gemara in Shabbos which asked, how did Klal Yisrael stand under the mountain? You can stand by a mountain, you can stand near a mountain, but it's difficult to stand under a mountain. Tachtit har, beneath the mountain. To which our rabbis explain that Hashem uprooted the mountain and suspended it over them as though it were an inverted vat. He then gave them an ultimatum saying, if you accept the Torah, great, but if not, Sham tieh kfuraschem, there shall be your burial place. So if you don't accept the Torah, I'll promptly place a mountain on top of you, and that'll be the end of you. So it seemed, looking at this Gemara, a very strange Gemara, that it seems like Klal Yisrael were forced into accepting Torah. If you accept it, great. If not, forget it. Where then is the whole beauty of Nasev and Ishma that Jewish people say we'll do, and then we'll accept, that we came from our own forthright desire to accept the Torah? Here it seems that we were coerced into accepting the Torah. How are we to understand this medrash? And there are many, many explanations given. I'd like to try to understand three approaches together today. The second question is based on the Siftei Chaim in source number 2. And he says, Mamad Har Sinai hu ha'ma'aman shebo zachu Yisrael lekabbalat haTorah. The experience of receiving the Torah, the whole Mamad Har Sinai, was the experience where Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah. However, he says, however, im nitbonen, if we look very carefully, nimsa ki rov haTorah lo nitna b'Sinai, ela lachar miken, ba'ol moed or ba'vol moab. If you look very carefully, the truth be told is, we did not really receive the Torah on Mount Sinai. Most of the Torah we got when we were in the experience of the Ol Moed, the tent of meeting, in Arvos Moav, right before we crossed into the land of Israel. Why are we making such a great deal about Mamad Har Sinai? This was the experience where the Jewish people received the Torah, where if you look at it in a total picture, most of the Torah wasn't given Mamad Har Sinai. So our question is, here, we look at the parashas, wow, here's where we got the Torah. Really? Here's where we got the Torah? We got such a small percentage of the Torah here. If you look at it as the total experience, it's hardly anything. It's a drop in the water of the totality of the Torah. Why then are we making such a big deal as Mamad Har Sinai? We have to remember Mamad Har Sinai. It was the time we got the Torah. We really didn't, per se, get the entire Torah here. Which really echoes the question of why are we celebrating Shavuos? Really, Shavuos is a time where even the Torah we got in Shavuos was broken. The real luchos that we got were on Yom Kippur. It's really the same question. So says the Siftei Chaim, well, you might argue with me that the experience of Mamad Har Sinai was the experience where we said Nasev and Ishma, where we agreed to accept the Torah. So he says that's very nice, but it still doesn't answer why are we placing such a tremendous focus on the Nitinat HaTorah, the giving of the Torah. Okay, so from our aspect, we accepted the Torah. But part of the experience of the giving of the Torah was the fact that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah. So let us focus on the experience where God gave us most of the Torah. What is so significant that when we look at Jewish history and we pinpoint where is our experience, where's our relationship with God, we pinpoint this parsha where we say, here's where God gave us the Torah. What is so significant about the experience of Mamad Har Sinai that we say here, indeed, even though it wasn't the totality of the Torah being given to us, nevertheless, this is the place where we attach the receiving of the Torah. So in a nutshell, the first question is, how do we understand the Gemara that says that the mountain was placed on their head? It seems like we were coerced. And the second question is, what is so special about the experience of the giving of the Torah that's found in our parsha that it's such a seminal event in Jewish history?